Today's lesson is on distance formula. On your formula sheet, you will find the distance formula, as you can see right here. The most important thing is to label your ordered pairs. We're going to find the distance between this point and this point in space. How far apart are they? Well, we use the distance formula. First, you have to label. This is the first point, this is the x, and this is the y, so x1, y1. This is the second point, x2, y2. From this step, we just plug these numbers into the formula. Be sure that you take the negatives with the number, and also don't forget the minus sign in the formula. So first step, plugging in. We get square root of x2, which is -7, minus x1, which is -6. This minus sign right here, it came from the formula. But this negative sign came from the x1, -6. Plus, plug in y2, -5, minus y1, -2. Be sure to square each of these terms. I then plug into my calculator. I'm going to plug in inside parentheses. So I take -7 minus -6, and I get -1. Now let me simplify this term. -5 minus -2, I get -3. It's very important to keep these in parentheses. So I plug in these numbers, -1 squared plus -3 squared. I then simplify underneath the square root. I type in my calculator, parentheses, very important to put parentheses, -1 squared plus parentheses -3 parentheses squared, and I get 10. So this simplifies to the square root of 10. The reason why it's important to keep those parentheses, for example, in the TI calculator, if I didn't type parentheses and I just did -1 squared plus -3 squared, it thinks that you're squaring and then put a negative. I get -10, which is not the same thing as 10. So it's very important to keep the parentheses when you type this into your calculator. Don't ever get rid of the parentheses. So we're done with this example. This is example 4 from your homework. Now let's do example 5. Again, first step, label. It's really important. x1, y1. This is the first point. This is the x, this is the y. This is the second point. This is the x, this is the y. I then plug into the formula that I'm given. Don't forget to take the negative signs with you. I'm then going to type into the calculator -5 minus -2. I get -3. Then I'm going to simplify inside this parentheses, -5 minus -1. I get -4. Again, keep those numbers inside parentheses. So I get square root of parentheses -3 squared plus -4 squared. I'm then going to type this into my calculator. Parentheses, -3, close parentheses squared, plus parentheses, -4, close parentheses squared. I then hit enter, I get 25. So this simplifies to the square root of 25. Can I simplify the square root? Well, in the previous example, we got square root of 10. If I type that into my calculator, square root of 10, I get a decimal. It's not a perfect square, so I'm going to leave it as a simplified square root. I cannot simplify the square root of 10. Square root of 25. Let's see if that's a perfect square. Sure is. We get 5. So the answer for number 5 is 5. Complete the worksheet for homework, and then you're done.